What's up, guys? Welcome to a full day of eating. Now, a lot of you have been asking about my new diet. Are we gonna do a day of eating? Here it is. So we're gonna run you through every meal that I eat and bring you along for the ride. Before we get going, wanted to mention real quick, we just released this American bread shirt in a black and white colorway. We've had the green and black and you guys have loved that. So we've had some requests for a black one. So that is now live on shawstrength.com if you want to pick one of those up. So first meal of the day we need to get going because I am starving is breakfast. So what we're going to do for breakfast is I've got some grits and eggs. So pretty basic overall. I've got some water already in here. I'm going to start that heating up. So I need to bring that water to a boil and then we'll throw in the grits. Now this will be eggs, and what I'm gonna do here is 8 eggs, and I typically just scramble the eggs up to make it really easy. I tend to be that way with a lot of the food that I eat. It needs to be easy and it needs to be functional, and this is great because it's fairly easy to kind of throw this together, and then as soon as it cools down, it's easy to eat, but it does come a little bit hot just because the water's boiling, all that with the grits. We got the water boiling and now I'm gonna measure out the grits. My serving size for the grits is 1 cup of dry grits before I put them in the water, which I think is actually 4 regular servings of that. But I'm gonna get that measured out, throw that in, and then we'll get started on the eggs here. Time to scramble up the eggs here. As I said, I've got to eat 8 of these, so we got to get cracking. So the eggs are ready to go. As I've said in some of my previous videos, I actually like to leave them a little bit kind of soft because I'm having to eat so many. It makes it a little bit easier if they're not overcooked. So dump those in there. Perfect. And then we'll get the grits here. Those look great. Get all those in there. So I am starving. I always am starving in the morning, and I've actually really been enjoying the grits. It's the first time I've ever tried those, and I think I mentioned that in the shopping video, but I've been pleasantly surprised with how good they are. And I actually really look forward to this meal every morning now, which is a good thing when you have to eat so much food. All right, so the biggest issue that I have with this meal is the fact that it's sometimes too hot and I want to eat it quicker just to get it down. So typically what I'll do is I'll take a few bites of the grits and the eggs, and then as soon as I feel like it's cooled down a little bit, I'll actually combine them just to make it a little bit easier for whatever reason. Not that I have to have a strategy to get my breakfast down, but this seems, I don't know, it's just a rhythm that I've found that seems to work really well with this. So then I throw the eggs in, just mix it up, and then I know that I'm in the home stretch and almost done. So one thing that I throw in with breakfast and the last meal of the day, every single day, is a product from Redcon 1 called MedKit, which is basically a kind of total body wellness, is what the health and wellness supplement. So it's basically got, you know, it's like a multivitamin plus a whole bunch of other great stuff to keep you healthy. So I'll throw that in with breakfast, and like I said, with the last meal of the day as well. All right, guys, so that is meal 1 down the hatch. Great start to the day, and now we gotta get busy with different work projects and things I've got going, but This won't actually take me that long to digest, so typically I get hungry pretty quickly. So then we'll be on to meal number 2. Moving on to meal number 2, and this is actually one of my favorite meals during the day. So what we're gonna do is we've got some instant mashed potatoes. That's gonna be my carb source. And then I actually get an option with this meal of beef, bison, or salmon, and I absolutely love the bison patties from Trifecta. This has been a lifesaver, not having to cook the meat. So what I'm gonna do with this is actually just pop it right in the microwave here. Very, very simple. And this takes like 2.5 minutes to get done. Perfect. So we'll start that cooking, and then I've got my water already set here for the mashed potatoes, so we'll get that going. And I'll just need to bring that to a boil, and then we'll get everything measured out to get the potatoes in there. So we got the water boiling here. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the heat off. And then what I have to do is measure out, it's roughly 2 cups of dry potatoes, and then I'll just mix those in here. Let's see, get this right. Do a little bit more. So that looks pretty good. What I'm gonna do with this now is add a little bit of butter to this while it's still really hot, just so that melts. Just like that. Just a touch more. Perfect. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab the bison burgers here. So those are ready to rock. And again, with this, it's such a simple thing. Just throw it in the microwave, it's already all cooked. And then all I do with this is actually just bring it over and I'll weigh it out. So what I need to have is 12 ounces of bison. So get out my bowl. So it's 11.7, we'll add just a little bit more here. So 12.2. We're gonna call that good. So all I do with this then is I just actually just go ahead and chop it up in the bowl. That's pretty much perfect there. And then I'll take the potatoes and just add them right on top. Just like that. Perfect. Now, the secret ingredient that is amazing is actually duck fat. So I was a little bit skeptical of this when Nathan said that I needed to add this into a couple meals during the day. But after I tried it, I was hooked immediately. So this is amazing. So what I'm gonna do is just measure out approximately a tablespoon of this, right about like that, and just put it in. I just kind of have a little container here. So I'm gonna throw this in the microwave and just essentially just heat it up so it's liquefied. So do that. And then as soon as that's ready, all I'm gonna do is just dump it on top. It's almost like a gravy is the best way to kind of describe it, but it's amazing. I mean, it's very, very flavorful and really makes these meals even more enjoyable. All right, perfect. So we're gonna go take this over and just pour it right on top, just like this. Perfect. Just grab a spoon here. And that is meal number 2. All right, guys, meal 2 is down. That was great. Like I said, those bison burgers just mixed with the potatoes and the duck fat is always one of my favorite meals to eat. Going good, and now we'll move on to meal number 3. Meal number 3, so I get a choice again. This time I'm going to choose turkey, and these are just turkey patties from Trifecta. Again, super simple and easy. I'm gonna pop these in the microwave. So turkey burgers are ready to go. Just gonna pop this open here and get these weighed out. So what I need here is 12 ounces. So I'll just weigh it here. Perfect. That's 10. 12 on the dot, that works. Cool, so typically what I'll do with this is I'll just go ahead and chop this up so it's a lot easier to eat, especially due to the fact I'm actually gonna pack this up and I've got to head over to treatment. So taking it on the road, it's a lot easier when it's all chopped up to get it down. So get this done here. All right, and now my favorite, rice. So we've got to get 2.5 cups of cooked rice is the portion that I'm gonna have with this meal. So I'll just kind of get it roughly measured out here, just like that one. There's 2 right there. So 2.5 cups of rice. And then I'm gonna get this packed up. We'll throw just a touch of salt on for a little bit of seasoning. Perfect. And I'll throw it in my bag, and then we're gonna head out the door to treatment and eat this meal on the road. Made it over here to Teamwork Therapy and Sports Performance. Gonna see Justin Willis and get all tuned up, keep the body rocking and rolling. So we're gonna bring you guys along for the ride and show you a little behind the scenes. Got all tuned up there, feeling really good after treatment, but of course it's time to eat. So, you know, as per usual, I don't leave home without my food, and sometimes I have to eat on the road, so I'll just pack the cooler like I did and get it done here eating in the car. All right, guys, so meal number 3 is done. It was actually really good. I didn't talk about this before, but I threw on some red sauce, which I'm allowed to have with the turkey and rice there. Love the red sauce, and definitely enjoyed that meal. And eating is going well today. All right, so this was unexpected, but today I was talking with my diet coach, Nathan Payton, and he was asking me kind of about training, how things were going, and I gave him the update, and he said, all right, we're gonna call an audible and we're gonna switch out meal number 4 for pizza and cheesecake, which, you know, I'm not gonna fight him on. So I just called into Domino's. We were on the way back from treatment. So I got the pizza, the cheesecake's at home, so we're gonna head home and then I will kill these there. Made it back home and ready to enjoy my kind of cheat meal in the middle of the day. This is definitely not typical, but again, like I said, this is based on feedback that I gave to Nathan, and he will, you know, tell me to do different things based on how I'm feeling, based on how training is going, and this diet overall is very specific just to me to maximize my performance in training and then in the competition. So not typical, but again, like I said, I trust him 100%, and if he tells me to eat this, then that's what I'm gonna do. So I was told with the pizza to just eat until I was satisfied, not to overeat or try to force feed. So I feel pretty comfortable. I'm actually, not gonna finish this. Hopefully you guys aren't upset, but just trying to follow the direction. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'll finish up the meal here with a couple pieces of cheesecake. I have to say that was very different, not something we're typically doing, but because I have been pushing so hard in training right now, there's just different stuff that we have to throw into the diet to help my body kind of recover from the training and to push forward. This is, I obviously want you guys to understand that this is a diet that is designed to get me as strong as I possibly can be for the competition. So, for anybody out there, it's like, oh, pizza and cheesecake during the middle of the day, what are you doing? Whatever. That's not typical. That's just a one-off thing. Normally this meal would be salmon, bison, or beef. So it's very different right now. But again, like I said, we are full steam ahead, training for my next contest, and that's what I'm trying to get done. So again, I trust Nathan 100% with this, and that's what he's telling me to do, then that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm not gonna lie, that cheesecake was pretty good. I don't typically have cheesecake during the middle of the day, so it was a little bit of a treat. And then the next meal, we will have my pre-training meal. So that's where I'm at in the day. So one more meal before training. So that one's done, and we'll move on to the next. Getting ready for meal number 5. So with this meal, I get to have sweet potato crinkle cut fries, which have actually been very enjoyable for me. I wasn't sure what to expect with these when I was picking them out at the store, but they've been great. And basically my serving size works out to actually be this entire bag. So that's another fun thing, right? I've definitely weighed them out, but I don't really need to weigh them now because this works out to one serving for me. So what I typically do is just use some tin foil here, just so they don't stick to the pan. I like easy cleanup, and not having to clean the pan is pretty amazing. So I've got the oven here kind of preheated and ready to rock and roll. So let's pop these in right here. Perfect. And then we'll set the time. All right, awesome. And then to go with this meal, I will go back with the turkey patties from Trifecta. Again, I can't stress enough how awesome it is to have all this pre-cooked and ready to go, and all I have to do is throw it in the microwave, because typically I would be pulling out the pan and pulling out the turkey and cooking it all up, and then it makes a mess and it takes way longer, and this is way less stressful for me, so I love it. So all I have to do with this is just pop it in the microwave here, and we'll go cook. Get that rocking. Perfect. We'll get that going. Perfect. So right now I have I've obviously got to let the fries cook and get that all ready, but I have a very important business meeting that I have to be at. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna heat this all up, get it all ready to go, and then I will eat that before I actually head out to the gym. So I'm gonna do the meeting while this is cooking, grab it, and eat it all, and then head out for training. So unfortunately, we cannot bring the camera along to the business meeting, but it's definitely some really exciting stuff that we will be sharing with you guys in the near future. Made it to the gym, was able to get that other meal down. The meeting went great, so I'm excited about that. And now is my favorite time of day I get to train. So time to strap it on and make it happen and get some good work in here. Made it home from the gym, and now it's time for meal number 6, which is my final meal of the day. So for this meal, what I've got going here is, these will be rice noodles. So I've already measured out, I'm having 4 ounces of dry rice noodles. So I'm gonna go ahead, I've got the water boiling here. I'm gonna go ahead and throw those in right there. Perfect. Got it. And then while those are cooking, they actually cook really quick, like 2 to 3 minutes. I'm gonna throw in my steak. So again, trifecta coming to the rescue. I would not want to be cooking steak after training and for my last meal. So obviously you guys are seeing me use all of this. If you're interested in picking some trifecta meals up, we'll have a link below the video. Check them out. I highly recommend them. Quality stuff. So I'm gonna pop this in the microwave now and get that warming up. So I think the pasta is ready to go. So I'm just gonna take it over here and dump it out. Looks good. We'll just run some cold water over here. Grab the bowl and dump it in. Perfect. So now our steak is ready. This is a very fast meal prep, which I love. Go ahead and pull that out. God, that looks good. And then I'm gonna measure out the steak here. Just grab a plate. Right here. Perfect. So the whole thing is actually coming out at 13, so it's a pound package, but with some of the, obviously some of the juice or whatever ran off. So that is what I'm gonna eat right now. So slightly under what I needed, but that's perfectly all right. So the main course of this meal is the steak and the rice noodles, but we got a couple other things to do. So for starter, I get a mixed green salad, which is what I'll eat first. So basically just kind of portion out a decent size kind of side salad, just like that. Kind of like I do about a bowl of salad here, just like that. And then on top, I use a balsamic vinaigrette dressing. Shake that up here. Just kind of sprinkle it on. Perfect. And then I get to have a apple with this meal. I actually get a choice of fruit, but really been loving the apples, so I'm gonna stick with that. And this, I gotta say, this apple cutter, if you do not want to have one of these and you eat apples a lot, this thing is awesome. You don't have to mess around with a knife and all that. You just kind of work it through, push it down, and then just kind of pop out the pieces on the bottom. That's perfect, just like that, and then just throw the core away. So that's something that has come in very handy with eating all of this fruit. So we're gonna do that, and then after I finish all of this, my reward, if you will, is that I get to have some cheesecake for dessert. So we're gonna take this over the table and get started. That was excellent. I will say, I think that's my favorite meal of the day, ending the day. You know, typically when I get home from training, it's later, you know, and my wife is already asleep and the kids are already asleep, and you know, this is something where, you know, I get home and you know, prep this all up and sit down to eat, and I kind of get some quiet time by myself to think about the day, think about what I accomplished, and you know, what I'm trying to get done, what my goals are for tomorrow, you know, stuff like that. So I always enjoy the last meal, but like I said, now that I've got all that down, I get to finish with cheesecake, which is even better. So I'm gonna grab a couple pieces of cheesecake real quick, and that will be the last thing that I'll eat today. Grabbed the cheesecake, and I decided to go with strawberry. So one of my favorites as well, and just 2 pieces. So you know, not anything crazy. I'm not gonna overstuff myself with this, but it's just kind of a little treat to end the day, and also to get in a few more calories that are, you know, not quite as clean. So, you know, it's, again, this is something where I'm eating for strength. I'm eating to be as strong as I possibly can be, and this helps. All right, guys, so that is a wrap on the full day of eating. Obviously, I've made a drastic change in the diet, you know, going back with Nathan Payton. But you know, you know, as I said in the video where we were talking about changing the diet, making those changes, you know, it's something where you know, I can't argue with the track record. I can't argue with the success that I've had, and a lot of you will be very happy to hear that. You know, for the first time in a very long time, I'm starting to actually feel like myself again in the gym, in training. You know, things are starting to feel light and easier, and I'm just starting to perform much better. And so I literally couldn't be more excited about that. And you know, at the end of the day, all of the eating, all the hard work, because that is what this is work. I mean, you guys get to watch these full day of eating videos, but it's not like this is an eating challenge. This is literally my daily routine where I put all these meals down every single day. I go to sleep, I wake up, and then I do it all again. And you know, it is work. I mean, there's no other word for it. But if you want to, you know, achieve your goals and you want to get better, that's what you got to do. I mean, diet, you know, is a huge factor in performance, and you know, I hope you guys have enjoyed, you know, this look into my diet and the changes. I'm excited to show you all the performance that it's going to bring, and for now, go out and be great, and we'll check you guys later.